Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian NBD, strong style, nerd, strong style, cinephile. Stargirl episode 3 is in the book, so let us geek about that for a scant few minutes, because we learned some things in this episode. It was called Icicle, so of course it's going to be Icicle focus episode. We're going to find out more about what motivates this leader, the supreme bad guy of the Injustice Society of America, what motivates him. Maybe we'll find a little bit more insight into his plan, Project New America. Not the most creative title, but it is what it is. Now the episode starts with a flashback to Icicle's wife dying in their bed. And we later find out in the episode it was due to some toxins or something that she was exposed to that led to whatever disease or sickness put her down and then ended her life permanently. In her dying breath, she tells Icicle that if anybody gets in the way of his plans, to destroy them. Fast forward to present day, still have Courtney and Pat going back and forth because Courtney is still high off being a superhero, that rush, that kick, that adrenaline, whatever feeling that she's got where she doesn't understand the stakes, the seriousness of what is going on. She's still on that. Pat is trying to tell her, hey, this is serious stuff. Being a superhero is serious business. Courtney's not seeing that. She goes to school. She runs into Wildcat 2.0 getting bullied by Cindy, who of course we know is Shiv, and tries to help her out. The girl doesn't want her to, just says she's going to make it worse for her. Again, I don't know how we're going to get from quiet bullied girl to Wildcat 2.0, but I guess we're going to find out in the next episode. After school, Courtney is walking home. She sees a frozen star in a field, which is of course a calling card from Icicle. She goes home, tells Pat, and Pat, of course, again, does not want her to deal with Icicle. He knows the seriousness of Icicle. Again, undeterred, Courtney wants to go out anyway. Pat goes back her up. They battle Icicle. Courtney barely gets away. Next thing you know, thanks to a flying fist from Pat, Icicle ends up on a bridge. Ice is over the bridge. Bus full of students is coming. Stargirl and Stripe manage to save it from falling off the bridge, but the wizard, his kid, his aspiring magician kid, is in the bus. He ends up getting out, and Icicle uses some icy machinations and gets the kid killed. Yeah, that was something. Let me tell you. And again, Pat tries to use that to impart the seriousness of what is going on. He ends up taking Courtney to the old JSA headquarters, where it's all covered in dust. You have Dr. Midnight's owl there, who's just waiting there for Dr. Midnight to come back. Of course, he's never going to because he's dead. And the mementos, the tributes in death to all these guys. And he's trying to show her that this is serious business. You need to treat it seriously. It's not a game. It's not a joke. Courtney is just all the more motivated to get justice for her father, Starman, as well as for the kid that dies. And Pat is trying to tell her, we can't do this because a kid died. And Courtney's like, no, we have to do this because a kid died. And I could see both sides of the argument. And Pat ends up taking her back home or whatever. And then later on in the episode, she returns back there, steals all sort of the trinkets of the JSA, the Thunderbolt. Don't know if that's going to come into play, just given how much, what kind of effects we'd be looking at with it, and there's been no reports of it coming into play thus far. But she takes some of Our Man's gear, Dr. Midnight's gear, and Wildcat's gear. We already know those three are going to be part of JSA 2.0. So, that was the episode. This question I brought up in another video. It's like, what do you do when you win? Because these villains have won. They've beaten the Justice Society of America. They've beaten them down. They killed them. Years later, what do? They move to suburban America, and they have kids. And that's one of the things that the wizard did. It's interesting to see that Jordan go back, confront the wizard, and kind of see, and they have this conversation where he just can just sense and tell just the commitment. Just the fact that the wizard is deep into his life with his family and his life as a politician, and he's just not committed to the cause. And even likens it the fact that he's just moved from one stage to another, from one act to another. On this new stage, he's a politician. What do politicians do? They make a whole bunch of promises that 9 times out of 10 they don't keep. And this is something that perturbs Jordan because he feels that the promise he made to, the wizard made to, the Zarek made to Icicle Jordan, he's not keeping. Even like Wizard points out that Brainwave was not a team player. That's why he got, you know, put in a coma. That it was Zarek that went out there, cleaned him up, and took care of everything and kept it under wraps. Jordan comes back, says, all right, I'm in control now. I'm taking over. And in the course of taking over, like I said, kills Zarek's kid. Zarek gets mad, goes to confront him, and he gets taken out by Jordan. So that's kind of interesting that, again, is that what's going to do in this new Injustice Society, or not new Injustice Society, that's going to do in the Injustice Society that allows them to get beaten by Justice Society 2.0, the baby Justice Society, because they're cannibalizing their own. I mean, Brainwave is in a coma, and Wizard is done for thanks to Jordan. So it's like, is he going to take anybody else out? Is that what's going to happen? Is that what's going to, by the last episode, is it just going to be Jordan left standing because he cannibalized the rest of his group? Remains to be seen. And of course, on Brainwave, there was a scene in the hospital where a coffee cup moved. Now, was that Brainwave's kid that did it, or was that Brainwave himself waking up? It's kind of ambiguous. We don't know. Remains to be seen how that's going to go. And of course, a big part of this show, I guess, is legacy and children following in the footsteps of their parents. One of the things that we see, which of course, I mean, this is such a cliche type of move, but I guess it's just, that's where we are with the show, because Cameron Maquette strikes up a friendship with Courtney, and of course we see, we know what's going to happen. There's going to be sparks between Courtney and Cameron. Sort of will they, won't they? And of course, will Cameron find out that Courtney is Stargirl, or Stargirl find out that Cameron is the son of Icicle, and the kind of drama and shenanigans that that's going to bring forth. We know what's going to happen. This is a CW-ish show. I know it's for DC Universe, but it's got the foundation of a CW type of show. So we know that's going to happen. It's just a question of how soon it's going to happen, because we have 13 episodes in this first season. So it's like, how much are we going to get to? Are we going to find out what Project Team America is, or Project New America is, before like episode 12? Because that's a lot of what happens in CW shows. They have, villains have these big grand plans. We get through the whole season, and it's like we have like 3 or 4 episodes left, and they're like, writers are like, crap, they have this grand plan. We haven't said anything about it. So now we go into rush mode to put forth what the grand plan is. Are we going to see seeds of what it is as we go in these next 10 episodes? Remains to be seen. All in all, it's a good episode. It's fun, it's light, it's cheery, it's campy in some places. Brett Bassinger is still just kick butt as Courtney. Luke Wilson as Pat. He's just a likable, like, loser type of guy, so I'm feeling his vibe and what he's bringing to the show. He's, like I say, he's trying to bring this seriousness of what Courtney's doing to her. She's not listening. Will she have that moment where things click for her? She realizes things are serious. Hasn't happened yet. Will it happen? Remains to be seen. Icicle is, of course, a formidable, he's just a guy. He's a charming, suave dude that is just a cold-blooded killer whose parents apparently are also in on what's going on as well. So, I mean, how dirty is the whole thing? Is Cameron in on it? That's what I really want to know. That's what I really want to know, actually. Remains to be seen. Oh, it was a good episode. I give it like a solid 7.5 out of 10. Still some things I can nitpick, but overall, and just judging, just going off the overall story that they're putting out there, it's good. It's a good show thus far. It's a very good show. It's a fun show. Will it continue? Remains to be seen. But anyway, those are my scattered thoughts on it. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Till the next video. Let us geek.